3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort: 10 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown.
And how about the first month that he's had? Leads the league in receiving, making all the big catches, and becoming a bona fide #1 guy for his team.
Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb. His 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. So they start this game just like they won. Opening drive touchdown, a nice run there to finish it off.
Yeah, that's what we call an explosive run because of the distance. And being able to do that puts a little uncertainty in the minds of your opponent.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary: 4 plays, 75 yards. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. To throw is Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright. And they're going to try their best to do exactly that.
But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first. From this vantage point, that seems like a pretty dangerous call, running a toss that close to your own goal line. I think what they were hoping is that they were going to get some pressure from the defensive front and maybe beat them to the corner and then turn upfield with a lot of yardage to run.
Mayfield looks to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throw it. Mayfield. Throw left side. Caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there. First down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On third down, Mayfield. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. He finds Roberts, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now Jackson, flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Watch the slack.
First carry for the fullback, Aaron Ripkowski. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Come on, fellas.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that
And now look at him go. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 84 4 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
On second and a long way to go. Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for him really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're...
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Throwing again on second down. Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback.
And he's going to go down again. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will shave 1 more off this lead. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, but now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mayfield. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, but it'll be 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. To throw again on second down. Jackson, flush to his right. Going to throw right side here, complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Tight ends left. Everyone, you got 4 down.
Here's Jackson, throwing again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Here's Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Browns.
Mayfield now, 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield. He's got Njoku over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Play fake. Mayfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
With it is Brown. Brown with his stick skills. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Eluding the pressure right. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Jackson now. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm was just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his offseason working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Mayfield now from the 50. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Matt Judon picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard. And it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, Great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jackson now. Going to throw again. Throwing right, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson, he'll let this thing go for Sanders. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Jackson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw again is Jackson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on down's the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Earl Thomas in on the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. Oh, fighting off the defender. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stops. Yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to...
It's caught inside the 25.
Let's go.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 56 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll run on 1st down. Lincoln, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson, that is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Ravens get a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for two does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
No gain on the play there. Second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Throwing, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. Six-yard return after a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. To throw is Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Johnson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Following the penalty, Chubb. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Check. Coming to you.
Running the jet sweep, Landry, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up on the road.